sounds like a Hannibal in pain. Oh, my God.
Oh, go on, don't argue.
Come on, no.
Come and give me a hand.
Well, that's an emergency if ever I heard one.
But the doctor's here, Mum.
What?
He's here. I only this minute took him upstairs.
Well, you might have said.
Well, we didn't give him much chance now, did we?
I dread to think what he's doing to him.
You sure it was the doctor?
Why, yes,
I
Mum.
mean the proper doctor.
Dr. Hall.
I thought perhaps he might have sent his whatchamacallit.
Locum.
Oh, well, if it's Dr. Hall himself, well...
In person.
Oh, well, it's all right. Nothing to worry about. I mean, he does know what he's talking about, doesn't he?
They're all the same.
Had plenty of practice, goodness me.
Perhaps he's a bit plastic, then.
Oh, well, speak for yourself. He's never done me no harm.
I didn't know you had him, Mum.
No, I hadn't. That's not his fault, because I'm as fit as a fiddle, is it? He's the medical advisor to the Dunwich group.
Yeah, look what happened to Mr. Dunwich. Well, it's true.
Oh, well, look at the life he led.
The best of everything.
Ah, but he never took care of himself.
No, and he didn't. He wouldn't listen to reason. Went at life like a bull at a gate. No, you've got to be fair.
All right, but if you've got to look after yourself, there's no point in having doctors. That's my attitude.
Well, if you ask me, they're like church. They're all right for births and funerals. Only more expensive. Of course, you don't need them for weddings, that's something.
Well, you don't have to have church for that, do you?
That'll do from you.
Well, I'm in the lead cookery, I suppose.
What time will you be going to the office, Mum? Bates was wondering.
Oh, well, I want to have a word with the doctor first.
I'll fetch him into you as soon as he comes down, shall I?
Oh, would you, dear? Morning. Mrs. Thursday here. My secretary, please. Jean? Oh, look, everything all right, dear? No, I'm not checking up on you, no. Goodness, it's just that I might be in a bit late this morning, you see, what with the doctor. No, it's not me. I've not been ill since coronation night, and then... Oh, well, never mind. No, it's Mr. Hunter. Well, I don't know, but he was ever so sorry for himself. Yes, and now the doctor... Well, I shouldn't think it'd be long, so if you can manage, I would like to, you know, stop and have a word with him before he goes. All right, bye-bye.
Dr. Hall, Mum.
Oh.
My dear Mrs. Thursday.
Oh, thank you for coming, Doctor.
Not at all, not at all. It's what we're here for, isn't it? Besides, it's always a pleasure.
Well, yes, how we...
The patient, That's the heart of the matter, isn't it? The unfortunate Hunter.
Will he be all right, will
Oh,
he?
yes, a little rest, a little discipline, you know, and I think we can safely say that he'll survive. Yes, I don't think there's any doubt that he'll pull through.
No offence, but I've often wondered, where'd you learn all that? I mean, do you learn it in the medical school?
Which?
Well, all that flannel, you know, using all them words where one would do.
Oh, dear.
I don't mean to be rude, but I really wondered.
It's what's so devastating. It's the habit, I suppose.
Ah, now, yes, but where did it all start? I mean, you couldn't have been born like it, or were you?
Certainly not. It's generally reckoned to be the best bedside manner in Harley Street. It took me years to acquire it, I might tell you. People expect it. It's one of the things they pay for.
Funny. Because I didn't mean nothing personal.
No. About Mr. Hunter.
Well, it's not so bad then.
No, it's just a chill.
I see. Oh, he made enough fuss about it, didn't he?
You heard.
What were you doing to him?
I was only sounding his chest.
Go on.
He complained that the stethoscope was cold.
Ooh, me.
It's a touch of bronchitis. I've left him some medicine which would help to clear it.
Oh, well, nothing much to worry about.
Oh, good heavens. No, a couple of days in bed and he should be as right as rain. I'll look in again the day after tomorrow.
I see. Well, thank you ever so much for coming.
Well, it'll be on the bill.
There, now I have offended you.
Oh, no. But see that he stays in bed till I come again, though there's really nothing to worry about. But I'd rather he stayed in an even temperature for a day or two.
I see. Yes, I will. Yes, I'll make sure.
Yes, I'm sure you will.
I suppose you wouldn't like a cup of tea or cocoa before you go?
Thank you, no, but I really ought to dash.
Oh, a lot more rich patients to look in on, I expect.
Well, actually, I'm due at the hospital. May surprise you, but I give them a couple of days a week.
Oh, dear. Oh, I am sorry. I didn't realise.
Oh, why should you?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have said that.
Perhaps it's compensation for fleecing the undeserving for the rest of the week.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes?
How you feeling?
Oh, not too bad.
Ah. Well, doctor doesn't seem to think you're dying.
Fat lot he knows.
Just a touch of bronchitis, that's all.
Oh, mere bagatelle.
Well, worse things happen in war.
Well, he may not have cured me. He certainly succeeded in brainwashing you.
He's not such a fool as he looks, you know.
Would be difficult, I grant you.
Oh, he left you some medicine.
Some poisonous concoction.
Oh, it's not as bad as all that, I'm sure.
See for yourself. And if you were thinking of removing the stopper, I'd sit down first if I were you.
Oh, it's quite nice.
Help yourself.
Certainly not. You're the one what's ill. Oh, you ought to take it.
I'm resigned to doctors being a pack of murderous fools, but I must say, Mrs. T, hurts that you should wish to speak my demise, too.
Oh, go on. In all me born days, I never heard such a fuss made about a bit of a chill.
Huh, chill.
Well, that's what the doctor said.
How the devil does he know how I feel?
Well, you've got to stay here for 2 days feeling sorry for yourself, so make the most of it.
I'm not to get up.
You're not to leave the room, do you?
Oh, forgive me.
What for?
I had meant to arrange about my successor in case the worst comes to the worst.
Oh, do leave off. I'm half an hour late at the office as it is.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'll manage somehow.
Anything I can get you before
No,
I go?
I don't want to put you to any more trouble.
No books, no papers.
No, I'll just lie here, dozing quietly.
You didn't ought to be smoking.
Oh, I couldn't.
No, sure?
Positive.
Well, you won't want these, will you? Oh! About your lunch.
Oh, nothing much. Breast of chicken, a couple of boiled potatoes, a bit of asparagus, and a half pint of champagne.
I see. Something light. You'll get a cup of beef tea and a piece of dry toast at 12 o'clock.
But you're supposed to feed a cold.
And starve a fever, don't you tell me.
Yes, well, even that damn fool of a doctor didn't say I got a fever.
It's a chill, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, you starve that too.
Oh.
You see, a chill can turn to the fever.
But-
Ah? So we're going to be on the safe side.
Mrs. T.
No, beef tea.
Yes? Speaking. Oh, yes, telegrams. Oh, just hold on a minute, will you? I'll get a pencil. Yes? Yes, I've got that, thanks. No, there's no need to send confirmation. 2000 hours, 14th of June, the 8th... It's the 14th today. Oh, that's torn now.
Hello, Cap. Good evening. At your service.
Hello then, what do you want?
What do you think, you twit? I'm here to collect a fare.
Well, you've got the wrong address. There, that'll teach you to be saucy.
I haven't, you know. Don't make that kind of mistake, girl. Been too long in the job.
Well, Mrs. T's not back yet. Cook's off, and I'm sure I didn't call you.
Mr. Hunter.
He's in bed.
Then he better get up a bit sharpish, hadn't he? Hang around here after night.
What's this then?
Telephone booking slip. What's it say?
Customer's name, address, go to customer's home, collect, and drive to London Airport to arrive by 2000 hours.
Clear enough, isn't it?
But he's ill.
Well, how come I've got...
Search me.
There
It
must be
a
some mistake.
Oh.
Here, do us a favour. Slip upstairs and see if he knows anything about this, will you?
Say please, and I might.
Please.
Yeah, you'll get me the sack. Hang on, then.
Here.
Well,
How about if I was to nip up after you, eh?
I'd tell my fiancé,
What's he in the Marines?
the commandos.
Oh, in that case, tell him I never moved off the front doorstep, won't you?
Oh! Oh! Help!
What? Struth.
He'll be all right.
But But it was only this morning that you told me there was nothing wrong with him.
There wasn't this morning.
Oh, that's why he fell down unconscious, I suppose. You told me. You stood there and told me.
I told you to see that he stayed in bed in the warm.
I've been at the office all day.
It's all right, but you undertook to see that he obeyed my instructions.
Well, I wasn't to know he was going to do anything so stupid as get up, dress himself and try to go out. Now was I?
You've known him longer than I have.
Well, that's why he was took bad, I suppose.
That and the fact that he hasn't touched the medicine that I left him either.
Honest, it's you what ought to be bawling me out.
Let's just agree that Mr. Hunter is a difficult patient.
Oh, you can say that again.
I've sent for a trained nurse. That is,
Oh, no, anything you think for the best.
Well, it's not as serious as it sounds, but he's delirious, running a fever.
Pneumonia.
On a touch, I shouldn't wonder.
Oh, dear.
Well, it's nothing these days.
But the nurse...
Oh, that's just to see that he behaves himself. If he starts running around the place again, he could be really ill.
Oh, well. Oh, I expect you want to be getting along.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd sooner stay and see the nurse installed. She should be here in a minute now.
Well, would you like a bit of food before you go?
No, thanks.
Oh, something to drink, perhaps?
Oh, well, I wouldn't mind a whiskey.
Oh, please do. Help yourself, because I always get the soda on the ceiling.
Can I get you one?
Well, I could do with one, I really could.
Well, speaking as your medical advisor. Soda? Water?
Just a splash.
Oh. How's that?
Lovely.
Well.
Fluffing your keel.
Oh.
Of course, I'm not really much of a one for this, only hearing it like that on the car telephone. Well, you know how people panic, and you see, it wasn't till I got home, I mean, that I knew for certain, you know, well, whether he was just ill, you see, well, I mean, not for certain I didn't, not know. And it gave me quite a turn, and I think that's what made me a bit short with you.
What beats me is what on earth possessed him to do such a stupid thing.
He was going to the airport. Oh, sorry.
Right.
He was going to the airport, and what's more, the taxi was booked to come back here.
Well, he was going to meet someone then, but who?
Ah, I mean to find out.
How?
Easy. I sent the taxi to the airport to see if there was anyone there expecting to be met by Mr. Hunter.
And if there is?
He's going to bring him back here.
Oh, that ought to set his temperature soaring.
What do you mean?
Well, whoever dragged him out of his bed in a state of collapse, well, she must be fairly...
Oh, what makes you think it's a she?
Well, there's usually a woman at the bottom of most stupid and irrational male behavior.
Oh, and the other way about.
True.
Well, all I know is she's going to get a piece of my mind dragging him out of bed like that when he's ill.
Perhaps she didn't know.
Or care, more like. I know the sort he goes for, and believe me... Come in, ye!
Excuse me, Mum, the nurse is here.
Ah, well, then, if you don't mind, I'll just go and see her settled.
Oh, well, anything she wants, Sally will see to it, won't you, dear?
Yes, Mum.
Thank you.
All right, I'll go.
Oh, Mrs. Thursday?
Yes?
I'm Miss Gibson.
Miss... Oh, are you the person what Mr. Hunter was going to meet at the airport?
That's right. Makes a point of it. He always does whenever I'm passing through.
Where's the taxi?
Oh, I sent him off. Thanks all the same, but, well, it seems silly, didn't it? I'm in a taxi when the coach goes practically to the door.
But what about your luggage?
Oh, I've got my bits and bobs, don't worry.
Is that all?
Oh, I sent the rest on by air freight. I always do.
Oh, well, come in and take your coat off.
Oh, thank you. Oh, how is he, though?
Oh, well, it wouldn't have amounted to much if only he'd stayed put.
Ah, and now it's been and gone on his chest, I suppose.
Well, pneumonia, they seem to think. But, of course, that's nothing like what it used to be.
Ah, that's what they say.
Still, you can't help worrying a bit, can you?
Oh, don't I know it. Every mortal thing you can get on your chest that boy's had. And a few you'd be surprised to find there. He was always the same. I said to his mother, I said,
I'm sorry, Doctor. Look, come back.
Is that not being spoken to like that?
I didn't mean it.
Old faggot indeed.
Sticks and stones.
But then, just look at my uniform, will you?
I'm terribly sorry. I'll see that he apologizes.
And I'm not going to behave like that.
Do you think he would? And if he did, do you imagine that he'd mean it?
But where on earth am I to find another trained nurse at this time of night?
For the sake of the profession, I'm happy to say I have no idea.
Sister Bob.
What was all that about?
But your precious Mr. Hunter.
Bluey's medicine all over her, I suppose.
Sprayed the poor woman from head to foot. How did you know?
I thought so. Oh, he can be a terror, that one can. That was always a favourite prank of his, that was.
Frank or not, if we don't get some penicillin into him.
Which way?
I'll show you.
I warn you, if that old toothpick comes in here again, I'll douse her.
Richard,
Nanny.
you've got a lot to say for yourself, haven't you? A lot too much, if you ask me. Now, where's this medicine you've been throwing round all over the place? Lost your tongue, have you? Oh, well, that's a change for the better. Now, let's see. Ah, yes.
I'm not taking any of that filthy stuff.
Any more of that and you'll have your mouth washed out with soap and water as well. Now then, open wide. We don't have to be told twice, do we? Down the little red lane. Hold your nose and swallow. No, you don't. Swallow. Swallow! Ah, you should have held your nose. Now, if you don't hold your nose this time, Mrs. Thursday will.
Oh, I'm not taking any more of the stuff. Mrs. T, it's absolutely filthy.
There we are then. Thanks, dear. There now. And next time, let's not have all that fuss and bother. Bless my soul, I don't know. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Master Richard. You did really. Just look at the pig party you've got here. Now, we'll have a nice tidy up, shall we? And I'll give you a nice wash and you'll clean your teeth. And you'll...
There was the... You see, temperature's down. Oh, you've done wonders.
He should sleep till morning now.
It is morning.
What? Oh, my.
Would you like a rest?
Oh, bless you, I'm all right. It's not been a bad night. In fact, it's been quite a good night as bad nights go. I tell you what, though, I could just fancy a nice cup of tea.
Oh, good, I'll fetch it. I've got the
Oh,
kettle
there's
on.
no need for that.
There's no bother.
Oh, we should be all right. He can't come to no harm for a minute or two. I thought I'd pop down with you.
Oh, yes, good. Change will do you good. You've known Mr. Hunter for some time, then.
Oh, all his life. They was the sort that had a nanny from the very first day.
Funny, I can't think of Mr. Hunter like that.
And I can't think of him like he is now, grown up. Yes, I've had Master Richard from a baby. Poor little soul.
Why?
His people, to my way of thinking, had a lot to answer for.
Did they treat him bad?
Oh, poor little mite. You see, he could be himself with me. Open up, he trusted me.
You mean he loved you?
Well, I suppose he did. Well, he didn't have anyone else he could love, did he?
No, and you loved him.
Well, you see, it was being mother and father, not just nanny.
No, well, it was lucky he had you.
Oh, well, I couldn't stay with him all my life, could I? I mean, not after he'd gone to boarding school. Mind you, I wrote to him every Tuesday, so he'd get it midweek, see? And, you know, he wrote back, regular as clockwork. And we wrote to each other for, about a year like that. And he'd put his heart on paper. Mind you, boarding schools was quite something in those days, not the holiday camp they is today.
I done out with them.
I don't know.
No, sending your own flesh and blood away at that age, not natural.
Well, sending them to school at all's not natural, really, is it? I mean, not really natural.
I don't know.
Anyway, he ran away.
There you are, then.
If you ask me, it was the holidays he couldn't stand. Still, he never wrote to me after that. I suppose he was afraid I'd haul him over the coals.
That was when he was working in the stables, was it?
Oh, you know about that then?
We went down there.
Oh, potty about horses he was, ever since he was so high. Got it from his father. But I don't know, somehow or other he couldn't seem to settle down. I mean, he loved the horses, and the ladies, they loved him. And according to all accounts, he wasn't a good judge of either. And what with the money burning a hole in his pocket, well, he must have just had to look alive to keep one jump ahead of trouble.
Still does, if you ask me.
Oh, could be habit, you know. He's got plenty of time for you.
Has he?
Well, he's never stopped this long in a job before, has he?
Well, money's not bad, you know.
Oh, no. Anyway, he wrote and told me.
Told you what?
Well, that you was, all right, you know.
Oh, well, it's because I remind him of you.
Oh, well, he did say something like that, but I didn't let it go to my head. Oh, Milton. Look at the time. Here, I'm due at the air terminal in half an hour.
Don't go.
Oh, I can't let my people down, can I?
Well, he's been really ill, you know.
He's through the worst.
Yes, but who's going to keep him in order with you gone and me at the office all day?
Now, you must be firm with him. Otherwise, he'll make your life a misery. Especially when he's under the weather, like he is now. But it only takes a puff of wind to blow him over.
Yes, but he's a big boy now.
They don't change. Oh, he's better.
Oh, he'd be wanting his breakfast.
Let's pop up and give him his medicine first, shall we?
We?
Well, you've got to start sometime. Then I'll be off, and you'll have to manage him on your own.
Oh, all right.
Morning. And a nice bright morning it is, too.
Mr. Hunter?
Morning, Mrs. T. Well, so it is you, Nanny. I was beginning to think it was all a dream.
More like a nightmare the way you was carrying on.
Well, how you feeling?
He's feeling much better, aren't you? He done ever so well in the war, you know. Yes. Lieutenant Commander in charge of MTB's Distinguished Service Cross and everything.
Oh, he never said.
No, he never had much side, I'll say that for him.
I'm sure Mrs. T doesn't want to hear all that, Nanny.
What did I say? You are better, a lot better, see?
Well, it obviously doesn't register sweating with embarrassment.
Now, up you get and have a nice wash.
But I feel like death.
Then you'll meet your maker clean.
And decent.
Come on now, hop out. That's the style. Now, where was I?
Oh, you was telling me how well he done in the war.
Oh, yes. He never told me about it, you know. No, I seen it in the paper. Of course, I wrote to him, and, you know, he done a lovely thing. On his next leave, he come up to Richmond, Yorkshire, where I was working, and just to thank me for writing and for what he called all I'd done for him.
There.
He took me out, give me a lovely dinner and everything. Oh, I was touched.
And you kept up with him ever since?
Well, yes, more or less. You see, I travel a lot now, especially since I've been retired. And I'm always popping off here and there, seeing my children, giving a helping hand, you know. And every time I pass through, he meets me, and wines me, and dines me, and sees me on me way again.
There, isn't that nice?
You needn't bother with shaving.
Thank you, Nanny.
And don't forget to brush your teeth.
Yes, Nanny.
There we are, then. Yes, he's made a few mistakes in his time, I suppose, but speak as you find. He's always been good to me, ever so good, and nothing but good. You haven't gone down that plug hole, have you?
The way you've been talking about me, I wish I had.
Ah, that's more like.
Oh, no.
Off into bed with you. Looks halfway human, doesn't he?
He's a credit to you.
I remember once he had a little sailor suit.
Ah, he must have looked lovely.
Oh, didn't he just? With his little hat perched on his little curls. Now then, what is it we always say?
How did you get here?
I sent the taxi what you ordered.
Oh.
She never come in it, though. She come under her own steam.
I thought you'd forgotten me.
Have I ever?
It's the first time for everything. Now, medicine.
No.
Now, don't let's go through all that again.
But...
No buts. You don't know what's good for you. 2 tablespoons full.
You always were a tartar. How long are you staying?
You don't have to worry. I shan't be with you for Oh, in fact, if I don't run now, I'll never get to Jamaica.
Think you can trust me on my own?
I'd worry about you if I didn't know I wasn't leaving you in capable hands.
Don't like the way you said that.
You'll find out.
What does she mean, Mrs. T?
Can't imagine.
I should be back in March, though. I'll send you a postcard.
Thanks.
Now, see you behave yourself. Well, it's been ever so nice meeting you.
Same here, dear. Thanks for everything.
After I've gone. Well, goodbye, dear. Goodbye, Mrs. Thursday.
Alice!
Oh, Alice.
Bye, Nanny, dear. Take care of yourself.
You be a good boy.
You'll come back and see us sometime, won't you?
Oh, I'd like that.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
She's forgotten my medicine.
That's all you know.
What?
Now then, come along, Master Richards.
Oh, no.
Don't want to be told twice, do you?
Oh, it's too much.
Down the little red lane. Hold your nose and swallow. Oh, Mrs. Thursdale holds it for you. There's a good boy. 1, 2, 3, swallow. Swallow. And a sweetie for afters.
Don't you want it?
Oh, you can take it away, Sally.
But it's not been touched. You ought to eat something,
Take
you
it
know.
away, Sally. There's a good girl. I'm not in any state to humour another contender for the Heart of Gold competition.
Well, please you're ugly, I'm sure. Look, Mum.
What's the matter with it?
Cook was at it for hours.
Oh, you will upset her, you know.
The fact that I'm no longer interested in food, Mrs. T, is not intended as a reflection on the wretched woman's cooking.
Oh, all right, Sally, you run along.
Well, what'll I tell Cook?
Well, tell her, say, his lunch is going down all right. You don't have to tell her it's going down me.
Honestly, Mum.
Waste not, want not. That's my motto.
I don't doubt it.
Ah, you don't know what you're missing. Still, every cloud has a silver lining.
Ooh.
Hello? Oh, Mr. Hunter. Oh, you are naughty.
The merest aperitif.
Now, look, this bottle was half full this morning. No wonder the doctor thinks you're not improving. Here it is, not 1 o'clock, and you lying there as if you'd seen the fairies.
Oh, what if I am?
Now then, none of that. I don't know what's come over you. You're not ill again, are you?
No.
Were you worried about something?
Oh, wait, no, I don't think so.
Well, whatever is it, let's get to the bottom of it. Come on.
You won't like it.
I'll get over it.
I'm getting bored.
Bored? Well, it's with hanging about the place. You get back to work.
That's just it, Mrs. T. I can't face going back to work. Strictly between ourselves, and no offence meant, my work, as you call it, is a monstrous, tedious, and inescapable bore.
Well, you never said.
Screwed on me.
Well, I've asked you often enough how you liked your job. Goodness knows.
Seeing Nanny somehow. Whole way of life.
Look, now we know each other a bit better. I thought you was going to settle.
Oh, there's the rub.
Well, how do you mean? Bored? What by? What
Everything.
With? Well, such as?
You.
Oh.
Oh, don't misunderstand me, Mrs. T. I'm very fond of you, you know that, and I admire the values you stand for. Honestly, Mrs. T, the lengths you go to not to enjoy that money, but it just drives me up the wall.
It's a trust.
All the dash. He meant you to enjoy
I've
it.
explained it
That's
to...
not the way you won't spend it.
Oh? Why won't I
Well,
be?
it's because you're scared.
Oh, yes? What of?
Scared that you won't be able to use wealth as you think it should be used. As the manner born with assurance, custom, and style.
I've done me best.
That's not true either. Vino veritas, Mrs. T.
What's that mean?
Roughly translated, it means I should be sorry I said this when I'm sober. Still, 1, 2, 3, swallow. Trouble is, Mrs. T, you want to be treated as if you're still living in Fuller Street. Well, you're not. You just happen to have £10 million at your personal beck and call. That makes you potentially one of the most influential and powerful individuals in the entire world. So, come off the bread pudding and faggot philosophy and making cups of tea at the drop of a hat. I don't mean that, of course. It's just the routine. Coffee would be a change. It's time you stopped using all those half-baked mottos and pretending you'd be lost without me and generally behaving as if you haven't got two halfpence to rub together. It's all over. You're the Mrs. Thursday now. Poor old Alice next door. So, for pity's sake, get used to it. Get some fun out of it. And stop being such a bore.
Why, Mum? It's all right. It's only passed out. Look, we'll leave him there till he comes round, then we'll see him up to bed. Look, I must go and telephone the office.
You know what, mate? This time I think you've gone too far.
You and all. My secretary, please. Jean? Oh, what's this?
A cup of tea. I thought you could do with one.
Oh, it's very kind of you, dear. Look, Jean, would you happen to know if the firm owns any racehorses? French racehorses for choice. Well, do you think you could find out, do you? Quick as you can, because it's important. All right, yes. Bye-bye. Well, that'll save us a bob or two, won't it?
I'm not with you.
Well, if we got one, we don't have to buy one.
You're going to buy a racehorse?
Oh, not unless I have to. Come in. Yes?
You wanted to see me?
Oh, yes, Mr. Hunter. Won't be a minute. Now then.
Oh, before you say anything, Mrs. T.
Oh, what's this? An apology?
My resignation.
Oh. Made up your mind, have you?
In the circumstances.
Do you want to go?
There's no alternative.
So you're not sorry for what you said?
I'm sorry I said it.
Well, you meant it, didn't you?
Yes, so...
Well, don't keep waving that thing in front of my face. Sit down before you fall down. Hair of the dog?
Oh, I wouldn't say no.
Help yourself. You can give me a nip, too. Now, about what you said. I won't deny I was hurt at the time, but you were the worse for wear, weren't you? Not
I was
quite.
a bit.
Yes, not quite yourself. So I'm not going to hold it against you that what you said was a bit unfair. Unkind and unfair. All the same, I've been thinking over what you said and, well, perhaps there's something in it. Not a lot, mind,
No.
about the way I go on. You see, everybody's got their own way of going on, and perhaps my way isn't very exciting, not to someone like you.
It's not that, it's...
No, but you see, I do see the mistake I made, but I can't change just because I've come into a bit of money. But I do see that perhaps, you know, you being so much younger and not settled, well, you're still a bit of a fidgety Phil, aren't you?
I suppose so.
Yes, so what you want's a bit of life and a bit of fun. I ought to have seen it before.
And you'll accept my resignation?
I want you to do something for me first.
What?
Well, the firm's got an interest in a horse that's racing in France on Saturday at a place called Longchamps. Now, you know about horses. I want you to go and look him over.
What for?
Well, see that he's being properly taught, properly fed and all. I got you a plane ticket and a bit of spending money, and I booked your room at the George Sink Hotel. Sir Charles says they make ever so comfortable there. So, well, if you still want to resign when you come back, well, then we'll talk about it. But you go and make yourself useful. Have a nice bit of pick-me-up and enjoy yourself. Well, what about it?
And why don't you come with me?
Oh, I haven't got the time. Besides, I know nothing about horses. I'm scared of them.
Well, I won't do it unless you come too.
No. That's right, hold it in.
Oui, c'est bien.
Bon, ça suffit, Jean.
Sorry, Mrs. T. It's so long since I've been to Longchamp. Had nothing to wear, and besides, fashions change so. Je dis que le monde change.
Ah oui. Et aujourd'hui, c'est toute une histoire. Mais enfin, plus ça change, plus c'est la même chose.
I expect so. What's it all gonna cost?
Well, in for a penny, in for a pound, you like it.
Well, I hope it won't frighten the horses.
Madame dit qu'elle espère que mon costume n'effraie la part les chevaux.
Simone,
Oui, monsieur Fernand.
trouvez-moi quelque chose pour madame pour porter au champ, voulez-vous?
Yeah, what's all this?
Well, you can't be seen in the members' stand in those clothes, Mrs. T.
I'm not going to buy any clothes here.
It's all right.
No,
Simone will look after you.
Bonjour, madame. Une nouvelle cliente anglaise est toujours la
You
bienvenue.
tell her. I don't want to buy anything here.
Suivez-moi, madame.
No.
Suivez-moi. Et nos mannequins vont vous montrer tous nos
I'm
nouveaux
not going to buy
modèles.
anything
Par
here.
ici, s'il vous plaît,
No.
madame.
Yes,
Par
listen,
ici, par ici.
wait. But you see,
Dans le
I
petit
don't-
salon.
No, I don't.
Installez-vous confortablement.
Yes,
C'est ça.
no, but I got on now. I don't.
Bon,
It costs
on va
a
voir.
lot of money.
Ah, voici Yvette qui porte un 3 pièces en lamé. Et vous voyez les culottes longues et la petite veste garnie de paillettes en plastique. Ah, le style anglais. Voyez-vous cette petite robe? Ici, c'est tout à fait uni. Et puis, on voit la petite mini-jupe. Elle est jolie, n'est-ce pas? Ah, voici un ensemble. Oh, un ensemble vraiment élégant. Vous voyez comme le tissu est drapé vers la gauche. Et puis le chapeau,
but I couldn't
ce
wear
joli
that
chapeau.
like that.
C'est cela que vous préférez.
It's
Oh,
pretty,
mais
I know,
madame,
but
je
I
vous
couldn't wear
félicite.
it.
Mais votre,
No.
vous avez un goût absolument parfait.
Yes, but I don't want it. I
Mais
don't want to
si,
buy it.
madame.
Mr. Hunter, look, what's the French for you're making a
Mais
mistake?
c'est parfait. Emballez-moi cela, s'il vous plaît.
No, because
Par
I
ici,
don't,
madame.
yes, but I've
Ah, mais
got,
je vous assure,
I've
votre
got to
peau,
London, I don't want to go. No.
Magnifique. Madame est seule? Quel bonheur!
Oui, nice day.
Est-ce que je pourrais avoir l'honneur de vous accompagner, madame? Oui? Peut-être?
Sorry. Help.
Mais pourquoi? Nous sommes seuls, tous les deux? Alors, garçon, permettez-moi de vous offrir un verre de champagne.
None. Help.
N'ayez pas peur, madame, je vous assure.
Permettez-moi, monsieur. Madame est avec moi.
Oh, pardon. Excusez-moi, monsieur, je croyais que madame était seule. Je n'avais que les intentions les plus honorables.
J'en suis sûr.
1000 pardons, madame.
Oui.
Mes félicitations, monsieur.
Oh, he was ever such a nice gentleman, wasn't he?
Oh, yes, and his intentions were entirely honourable.
Yeah. Whatever became of you?
Modest flutter. They're off.
Oh, where?
There.
Oh, which one's ours?
The group has an interest in number 19.
Oh, why didn't we have a bit of bet on it?
We did.
Oh, speak for yourself.
Well, I took the liberty of putting on a modest 1,300 francs for you.
How much?
1,300 francs.
What's that?
About £100.
£100? Here, let me have a look.
Come on.
Well, fancy going and doing a thing like that. Putting money on for somebody without so much as buying your leave. And not just a couple of bob either way. Oh, no, £100. Honest, you've got a nerve. I thought you understood about horses.
Merci.
What's he giving you all that money for?
Well, 2,600 francs, 5 to 1, 13,000. And our stake, that's 7,800 for you and 7,800 for me.
But our horse was beaten. Look, he's still running. He's still running.
Oh, the horse we own, Mrs. T. We backed the winner. £600.
Well, I never. What are we going to do with all that money?
Spend it?
But we can't.
We can't take it with us.
Why not?
Exchange control regulations. We've got to spend it here.
But we're going back tonight.
That's right.
Oh, we can't spend it all by then.
Want to bet?
No, you might lose it all again. Oh, garçon. Oh, for going mad, I might as well do it in style. Champagne pour two.
Have you anything to declare, madam?
I should cocoa. Mr. Hunter?
Excuse me, please. Excuse me. That's all right.
All this? All this.
Not bad for a couple of hours shopping, is it?
You have some receipts, I hope?
Oh, yes. There you are.
Thank you. Excuse me a moment, sir.
What's the hold-up?
Customs duty.
Well, pay it. No good spoiling the ship for ape of a tar.
Supposing we just say...
Oh, I should worry. Oh,
Thank you.
some convalescence.
Well, I feel it's done me a pair of good. Oh, this way, dear?
Oh,
You topper! Oh.